Hey, what's up? You watching Raise My Mindset. Welcome to the second podcast episode. Today I'm here with
Sundiata, Washington.
And Dayshawn Goodman.
Alright, today I'm gonna be asking them a couple of questions, particularly track related, about the mental health and their habits of the daily. Alright, the first question is, first y'all gotta tell us, introduce yourselves.
Alright, so for the one time, my name is Sundiata. If you know me, then you can call me Sundi, but from Conyers, Georgia, and I'm a graduating senior. I'm out of here. And yeah, I'm the champ on the team. One of the champs, I'll say that.
I'm Dayshawn Goodman. I'm a freshman political science major at the Tuskegee University. I'm from Detroit, Michigan.
Alright, what inspired y'all boys to start doing track and field?
All right, so funny story, it's crazy how life really works in funny ways, because in middle school, I was one of those people that used to really get on people for joining the track team because it's a sport tailored around running, and me being a basketball player, anybody who played basketball and had to do suicides, they don't like to run, and so it was just crazy. So my junior year of high school, the track coach just came up to me and he said, you should give high jump a chance. And this is at the end of our season. And I'm like, Coach, I don't do no running. I'm just a hooper. He just kept trying me. And one day he came to me and said, oh, you don't like to compete. I heard about y'all boys who don't like to compete. And me being a dog, I just had to go out there. So the first day of practice, I went out to high jump. I told him, I said, look, I'll go out for high jump if I don't have to do any running. We shook hands, and first day of practice, I couldn't get over 5'2". So I really was like, forget this. I don't even want to do this. And so we had a big track meet coming up. It was literally the biggest in our county. And so the people on our team, it was about 4 people ahead of me that were better than me, but they couldn't go because they had things to do. And so our coach was like, Sundi, it's on you. And so I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's see what happens. And I actually ended up jumping 6'2". I got second place at the first meet, and so at that point it was just an opportunity. And leading the way after that first season, my junior year, I broke the school record, got 4th at state, and at that point it was like, you see what's happening. Do I want to end it right now or you see where it goes? And the life I'm living right now is just a manifestation of all that. So yeah, can't say it worked out for me in the end.
For me, I had a similar situation with Sundi. I was a basketball player first, and I ended up playing football my junior year, and our defensive coordinator was also our strength and conditioning coach, who was also the head track coach. So he wanted me to come out for track to stay in shape for football, and I just ended up being somewhat talented at high jump. First couple practices, I couldn't even get over 5 feet, and then when I found out it was more about technique instead of just raw jumping ability, then I started to really get addicted to it. And senior year coming into it, I knew I had goals set out to go far with track. I wanted to go to states, and I should have went to states, but the regional meet didn't go as planned as I wanted it to go. But I knew I definitely still wanted to pursue it in college, and now we're here.
The reason why I started doing track, it was around 7th grade, so my brother, he was doing it, and you feel me, I just followed whatever my brother was doing, but he was a lot faster than me. When I was younger, he used to just make me do things we would stand on one side of the block, you feel me, and we'll just, when we see a car pass by, we'll just start running, trying to beat the car, you feel me? So me personally, I was just bro, I'm fast, so I started doing it. Started in middle school first, and then I joined the club. You feel me? I made it to AAU, regionals. I ain't making the nationals my first year running track. I ain't gonna be humble. I ain't make it that far. I just started running, you feel me? Started beating records my middle school, breaking records high school. Yeah. Then I was I'm coming to Ski. Ski got a track team, so I'm could I walk on, you feel me? So I walked on, first day practice. I ain't gonna lie, I was damn, how y'all doing this? We had 600 repeats, 800 repeats. I'm what? But yeah, that's how I joined, you feel me? I just want to compete.
It's part of the grind,
You were playing football first before you came to us, right?
Yeah, I came to Ski off a football scholarship. Yeah. What obstacles do y'all face daily?
Obstacles faced daily? Daily obstacles.
You want to go first, or you want me to go?
You probably go. I can't think of anything right now.
All right, for sure. So I'll probably say one of the obstacles I face are daily. I won't say daily, but there are a lot of times where you just find a lack of motivation. So you wake up in the morning, you're like, dang, last practice we had to run 600 repeats. Last practice my back was hurting and we still had to run. I already know what type of time it's going to be on today. And so one of the things that I really, I wouldn't say it's a daily struggle, but I do find myself finding is that daily motivation to say, I already know what happened last time, the last 5 times. I can already expect what's going to happen today. And so one of the things that I do to really overcome that obstacle is I tell myself that at the end of the day, there's a reason why I came here. There's a goal I set in mind before I knew any of this looked like how it looks now. Yeah. And so I just think back to what I had in mind, when I first said I was going to come out here to ski, and that's what helps drive me. I'll probably say on the other side of that, on the lack of motivation, on the side of the things that you don't want to do, there's another side of that wall that is the things that you do want to do. And it's about prioritizing. In this world, there are about a million things that we can do daily, but we only have 24 hours. And, we have friends that don't have the same goals as us, and they want us to, they want to do the same thing as them. But a lot of times, the things that we want to accomplish, they're not in alignment with what, our friends and peers want to do. And so I would say a daily obstacle is really prioritizing, like, what do you want to do today? And not only what do you want to do today, but what do you want to do today in terms of progress towards your goal? Because at the end of the day, our time here is not forever. There is an end date. And that end date, for me, and not only for me, but my teammates here, is going to include a degree and a conference championship. And so, a lot of people that's not on the track team, that's not in our majors, they don't have the same goals, and they can't prioritize. They can't make those priorities for us. So I would say a daily obstacle is, prioritizing for yourself and then just sticking with it. And it is an obstacle to stick to it, but I feel like the good thing, at the end of the day, when you lay in your bed, you're the only person who knows if you made that progress towards your goal. And it's really a great feeling when you can honestly say to yourself, like, I made great effort, I made progress to something that I want. And, when something's fueled by passion, there's nothing in the world that can really simulate that feeling, So, yeah, that's what I got to say.
For me, I think a daily struggle or a daily obstacle that I think I should probably get over definitely this year is procrastinating.
Oh, yeah.
I think, especially as college students, like, we feel like we have these due dates and stuff like that that are set, and, like, I feel like I tell myself that I work better under the gun, and I feel like I get a lot of stuff done under the gun, but I feel like if I would have prepared more, I wouldn't have to stress myself out that much to work like I do. And then that also causes another obstacle of, like, mental fatigue. I think like having like a really busy day with school, and then having to come or go back to like the 2-day practice we had last week, from having the weight room in the morning, and then having our dedicated practice time in the afternoon. The mental fatigue starts to set in, and I think kind of like what we did yesterday when Sundi and I are both high jumpers, and he's older than me, so he usually can, like, calm my nerves down for the most part. Like, when we were jumping yesterday, he was like, I can see you're anxious, so let's take a walk, and then take, like, I think he said, like, take 3 deep breaths before your routine. We both have, like, a similar or, like, set routine for every time we go jumping. So I think to just, like, focus my mind or just calm my nerves, I need to like step back and, like, breathe for a second, and then just recalibrate and refocus on what I need to do. And like you said, our goals are a lot different from our peers. Like, us as teammates, we have those set goals and those set accomplishments we want to get, but a lot of people don't have the same goals around us, and sometimes you gotta make those sacrifices of who do you want to be around, or who do you want to surround yourself with in order to get those goals that you want.
Exactly.
Hey, y'all boys, both of y'all sound like inspiration, like that.
But look, you raising the mindset.
You feel me? Like, y'all, they really is raising my mindset.
No, yeah, definitely.
I mean, the obstacles that I find myself, it's kind of a mix of both of y'all said, like, the motivation to get up and not procrastinate. And, like, maybe most of the time, like, most days on Sundays, so it'd be hard for me just to get out of bed, just to do my homework and stuff. Like, knowing that I got to get it done. I know I'm going to eventually get it done, like, by the end of the night. But when I don't do it in the morning, it just put a lot of stress on my shoulders for me to have to cram it into the night and then have to wake up early in the morning to go to practice after pulling the all-nighter. And I just feel like that's limiting my progress, the potential of what I can do. All right, this one's gonna be a deep one.
Okay.
Describe a time where y'all almost quit.
Ooh, every day, boy. No, I remember. So none of us are distance runners. So we had to, in order for us to compete in track, cross country has to be done because we don't have an indoor track season. We had to run cross country because we don't have an indoor track season, and basically everybody who was running cross country was not a distance runner. So we had sprinters, we had jumpers, and I think Hannah came as one of the throwers, and she was more over than I was, and I ended up like. After that, I ended up like pulling my groin. I felt a pop during one of the practices, and it sidelined me for the rest of the semester. Basically, I was done for 2 months or so. I didn't come back and start practicing with the team until January, right? Probably after Christmas break, I would think.
Yeah.
And I knew I was behind severely. Like I felt. When I was training over break, trying to get back into it, I felt like the real bad fatigue and the burning in my lungs all the time when I was trying to run. Especially over Christmas break, it was freezing. Like it was really cold back up in Michigan. So just having that like strike against me, coming back, knowing I wasn't in the best of shape, knowing I was 4 or 5 steps behind everybody, I didn't feel like there was a point of me coming back and trying to regain everything that I had already worked for, but I'm glad I stayed, honestly.
All right, so I do have a question, like, so you pulled it like after cross country season, like during it?
Yeah, so we had got done with the SEAC conference cross country meet, and then I remember that next day, or we had got done, and then the rest of the week was homecoming. Mm-hmm. And I remember that that weekend I got sick. Mm-hmm. And that Monday I was feeling terrible. I threw up that Monday morning. She still made me come and practice. And then we were doing 200 repeats on the baseball field.
I think that was 13. I think that was probably like the day before I came.
Yep, we were doing 200 repeats on the baseball field. And we had like 14 of them, or something like 16 of them, or something like that. And like halfway through, right off the line, like pushing straight out, I felt a pop in my groin, and I knew it was hurting the rest of the practice, and it was hard to even walk around campus, getting around to class until I can get to Marcus, because he was with y'all. Mm-hmm. Y'all had went to.
We had went to championships.
Yeah, versus Benedict.
Yeah, Benedict.
And he was gone that whole weekend, and I don't think he came back to that Sunday, and then I went and did diagnostic from there. So
in that, a lot of people, they probably would have went through that same thing. They would have reached a point where it's like, I'm done with it. And granted, so like injuries do cause people to quit, and that's a reasonable reason to stop doing it. But what was your motivation to say, I'm gonna just keep going?
When she had told us to map out some of the goals we had for the season, like I think one of the top 2 goals I had was remain healthy, and it was in all caps because throughout my junior and senior season, it was injury prone, like throughout all 3 of my seasons. And I just wanted to remain healthy, even if I wasn't doing as good as I thought. Like I just wanted to feel like I could still give 100% that I had. But motivation-wise, I think I definitely took some convincing from my granddad and my high jumping coach back at home to stay on the team, because like I said, I didn't feel like it was a point to keep competing, and it feels like I'm always hurting myself every time I'm trying to do something I love. So I just relied on their counseling, and then I remembered my why. Like I do everything I do to be the very best. Like we were high jumping at Auburn this weekend, and I got to see what the very best look like, and I'm trying to get to that point and then surpass that point. So I try to keep that in the back of my mind that I'm doing this for a purpose and I'm doing it for a reason.
I ain't gonna lie, y'all boys was jumping like y'all didn't even know I was over there, but I was by the gate, I was watching y'all.
Yeah.
I see you. I said, you were watching?
No, yeah, it was definitely fun this weekend to go against, somebody who is considered, the best in college sports.
In the world.
Yeah.
One of the best.
One of the best in the world, and to see what that level of competition looks like, and to see what it takes to get there, and hopefully, God willing, I'll be able to, get to that level and surpass it.
Straight facts.
What about you, Sundi?
So actually, one of the times I almost quit, I'll probably say it was actually my freshman year when I first came here. So when my senior year of high school, that's when I was getting offers for track. And me, I'm a big basketball lover. Like, I love basketball. So I was expecting to get some offers in basketball. But when I started doing track, a world of opportunity was like opening up. I was getting recruited by like University of Tennessee, the school up in Illinois. Like, I'm getting recruited by big names. Like, I had opportunities that I didn't even realize that I could get. So when I came to Tuskegee, I was on the top athletes in the country need to go to HBCUs. Like, we need to push those. So, I wanted to be an engineer at the time. So my main goal was just be an aerospace engineer, have this talent of track to, I can make this opportunity happen. So I heard about Tuskegee Engineering, seen they had a track team, talked to the coach. He said, it was a good conference, seemed like one I could compete in and thrive in. So I was like, let me come here. So talked to the coach, came to here. He said he sounded promising. And my first day of practice, that's when I first saw our track. And that's when I realized we didn't have a track. Before I came to Tuskegee, I just had this vision of what a college athlete is supposed to be.
Yeah.
My only really insight to what a college athlete is like is things from Instagram, movies, and like social media. So I'm seeing the big facilities, I'm seeing the travel buses, I'm seeing the gear that we get. And I came to Tuskegee, like, we didn't get any of that. Like, you would have thought it was high school again. And so all of that, and this is me like not being, if I was just like another athlete, I'd be like, okay, whatever. But I was a top prospect in my event where I'm getting recruited, and I literally turned other offers down to come to Tuskegee. So at the point, I felt like I settled for Tuskegee, and so I was actually about to leave. Like, I was in the transfer portal, about to go to Kennesaw. I was looking at Kennesaw State University. I was looking at a whole bunch of other schools, like I want to say Middle Tennessee, like talking to the coaches. I was looking at this one school in Arizona. And so, again, like I was about to leave, talking to the coaches, how do I transfer my credits? And then I sat in my room and I was like, bro, you didn't come here to be an Olympian. You didn't come here with the goals of going to the Olympics. Like, you came here for school to be an engineer. You came here because you thought that some of the top prospects, top athletes need to go to HBCUs, and you're in that space. And so for me, it felt like I can't say all this and not back it up.
Yeah.
And Tuskegee is a huge name. It's considered an HBCU Ivy League. And so for me, it was a point of like really one of those chances where you get to, I don't know, me, I'm a big person where I see life as a movie. Like, that just makes life more interesting. And so in every movie that you watch, there comes a point in the movie where the main character, there's the odds are stacked against them, and you're like, how are they going to get out of this? And in every aspect, that they're going to make something shake. It's just, how do they do that? And so for me, it was, how can I do that here at Tuskegee? Life really isn't about what you think of it. Life isn't about what you want it to be. It's what you make of it. And so I saw what was in front of me, and I saw that I could make something of it. And it was just this was a chance for me to really test myself, to see if I could trust myself, when things don't seem right. What can you do? What can God do to make it all happen? And so it was a lot of cases where that was a year where I was like, you have to trust yourself. And the moment you don't trust yourself, you got to trust God, because even then, now we have a coach that cares about the program. My freshman year, the coaches didn't even care about the program. So it was really like, it was all on you. The coaches didn't care, like, if you skipped the workout. They didn't care if you skipped the warm-up. They didn't care. So it was an effort to be the best you. Like, what are you going to do? And so believing in that, trying to stay motivated, going back to my why, not even so much on the Olympic or the track side, but on I came here to be an engineer, and track is how I'm going to do that. Track is my platform to make that happen. Yeah. It was, what can I do every day to at least get closer to that? And I'm not gonna cap, like it was a lot of times I wanted to quit, but every day that little progress was a little bit reassuring to say like, this is a step closer. And in that, my freshman year, I broke the record. I was the #1 freshman in high jump, and I got 3rd place in conference. And so that was just hey, we did it freshman year. What else can we do?
Yeah.
And shoot, it worked out again. Like it worked out. So in a lot of moments when I want to quit, even now, even to this day, I just think about, in the moments when I didn't quit, and I think about what could happen if you don't quit. Because the only way that there are a lot of things, like I said, we all started with goals, and the only way that those goals won't happen is if we quit, Now, we can go after it, and it still may not happen, but that's the risk that you take with anything in life. But shoot, one day life is going to flash before our eyes, and you got to make sure it's worth watching. And this is going to be the point where you're like, dang, we did it, And not only for me, but for y'all too. And so, yeah, and I can't quit and then tell y'all not to quit. And so I really use like my story to help inspire and motivate y'all to say like, shoot, this is what happens when you don't quit, even in the moments when you really want to. And I just hope my story inspires y'all to just be great, because y'all are the future, literally.
Bro, y'all hear this pastor, bro? He preaching.
Yeah.
The time I almost quit, I wouldn't say quit because, like, it has to, for me to quit something, it has to take a lot out of me. Because I haven't really quit in a lot of things, but it was one workout in particular. I think we did 300s. And coach was just playing online. Like,
we were never going to do 300s. We were never going to do 300s.
We were never going to do 3.
We were never going to do 3.
For one, we don't even have a track, right? So she lines up 300. It's hard just to fully trust someone when you don't see it on the thing. Like, she just puts a random cone and we have to run there. She measures it, but we don't really, you feel me? We're not next to her to see what it is. All right, so she said if we run it right, we're going to do it light. That was not the case. So we just run it like we don't know what time we have to run. So she'll just tell us like, yo, y'all slow. And I believe her, you feel me? I'm not running no fast D1 times, but I just had to think about it like, I'm way faster than the average person, so I got to give myself a break. Like, you feel me? I was really hard on myself. We did 3, boom. She said, oh, I don't like it. Next set. If y'all was to do it right, we would have stopped right there, but y'all not ready. So we did, boom, we did 3 more. That was 6. Then we did 3 more. That was 9. We did 1 more. I felt like I couldn't even feel my legs. I couldn't feel my lungs. At that point, I was like, I'm not on track scholarship. I'm on football scholarship. Why am I still doing this?
Yeah.
But then I just thought about something. Like, there was just something in the back of my head telling me, like, when you start something, you got to make sure that you finish.
Facts.
Like, you don't just start something and not finish. I be on Instagram. I just be listening to random quotes, like random inspirational videos. And it was saying, like, just give it 1 more day. And if you made it to the next day, just give it 1 more, just give it 1 more. And then I just started thinking about the plethora of things that come with me doing track. Like, this is an opportunity for me to showcase my talents. This is an opportunity for me to meet new people. We have a whole bunch of meets. We're going to Mississippi State next week or this week coming up. You feel me? We got a whole bunch of opportunities that I can use to market myself as a communications major, touch new people, and eventually get my family out of their situation, get my family out the hood, make a better situation for them. But that just came from me just thinking about that little workout. If I was to quit after those 10 400s, what else would I quit in life about? There's a lot of things coming up. All right. How do y'all manage practice, school, and your social life?
You don't. I'm being straight honest, like you really do not. Like, especially with us, like we don't have a like set in stone practice time because we don't like. There's not enough room for that. So for me, it's like my social life is y'all for real. At this point, like my social life is within the team. Like I feel like the best of my friends who I've made at Tuskegee is on the team, and there's nothing wrong with that. And most people have friends outside of the team that they go to, but for me, I'm already involved in so much that I don't really have like enough time, or I don't want to delegate my time that I focus on my academics and my athletics to other stuff right now. Like I feel like once I have gained enough traction and I've set who I am as an athlete and who I am as a student, maybe then I can get into that part of college, either next year or my junior year. But right now, I think it's my my prime to really just grind it out. Like I have my dedicated time to my classes and my schoolwork, and my dedicated time to my athletics, and my social life is within my athletics. So I have enough stuff that I feel like on my plate right now, and I don't want to. And I'm already as busy as I am, and sometimes it can get out of hand, and I don't want to add anything onto that'll either mess that up or give me more anxiety and stress that I already have with the stuff that I already have set in stone. So honestly, you just learn to adapt. Like, you just learn to go with the flow. If we have 6 o'clock lift, okay. If we have 5:30 lift, okay, I got to set my alarm for 30 minutes earlier. But other than that, like, you just learn to live with it at this point. Like, if we can live with being with the schedule being really unpredictable and get through the weeks and get through the days and have meets every weekend like we're gonna have them for the next 3 or 4 weeks. Like, I think we can learn to do anything. Learning to adapt is a key skill in life, and I think right now it's setting us up to be really successful in the future.
Nah, facts. So Dayshawn said something. He said he's really busy his freshman year, and that sounds a lot like me my freshman year. Like, I was just doing things, just joining clubs,
Exactly.
just not really realizing that when you sign up for things, you do have to dedicate time to them.
Exactly.
And I'm thinking, okay, I can give it 20, 30 minutes. No, like, college is a case of, like, when you do something, college is that place where, like, if you're going to do something, like, you got to do it all out to get that full experience, that what you want from it. And so for me, my senior year, I'm at a point now where it's like, if it's not school or track, I really don't even want anything to do with it. And so the balance piece about it is really, I would say, like, priority. Like, we're at a point now where it's not so much, when we're younger in middle school, high school, even elementary school, you're not really doing what you want to do. You're doing what you can do to the capacity of your parents, to your, like, it's really, you're limited to what you can do. Out here in college, like, you choose what you're going to do on a daily basis. And for me, like, it's prioritizing. Like, again, we all came out here with goals, and every day is a chance to just get closer to that. And the people, like, my freshman year, I was big on, like, dang, what if my friends feel bad for me not hanging out with them? What if my friends feel bad for this, that, and the third? And I would just overthink on what my friends would say. But at the end of the day, like, this is my life. This is not their life. And that's not really to say that they don't deserve my time, but it's a case of, at the end of the day, when I lay in that bed, I'm going to either be happy or I'm going to be sad about the day that I just lived. And my day cannot be me hanging out with friends. Like, there's way more to life than that. And in terms of social life, like you said, like, at this point, my friends are my team. Like, my team has some great people on it. They're hilarious. They're like-minded. Like, we're all just trying to win in our own way. And so I like that, we're surrounded by like-minded individuals. And even again, like, at some point, life is about sacrifices. And it's either going to be you're going to sacrifice what you want for your friends, or you're going to sacrifice your friends for what you want. And if you have real friends, they'll understand that, and they'll be on their journey to go after what they want. So in that, y'all will link up when you guys have free time, but you'll understand that, social, like, you'll learn not to really carve out time out of your day just to hang out, because shoot, it's only 24 hours in a day. And so balancing it, I would say that people will, like, the people who need to be in your life, they'll recognize that you're doing what you're doing, not really with malicious intent, but you're just trying to be the best you, and whatever that is, whatever that looks like for you. And people that, again, that gravitate towards that, they'll respect that. And people who don't respect that, you don't need that energy in your life anyway. So balance, I say, just, prioritize. And then for me, also, I got this little agenda. It's literally hour by hour from midnight of one day to 11:59 to the next. And I put in what I'm going to do from 8 to 9, 9 to 10, 10 to 11, whether that be, I'm talking about wake up, brush my teeth at this time, wake up, go get gas at this time, go eat at this time, practice at this time, down to midnight. So I can literally see when I have time to chill and when I don't have any time. And senior year, you'll realize you don't have time to do anything except go to practice and go to class. And I've had some people, they're like, dang, you don't mess with me no more. And I had some people recognize, they're like, oh yeah, you got class. Like, go ahead and take care of that. Exactly. When it's summer, we can hang out. And shoot, it just makes life easier. So I would just say prioritize really helps out.
Yeah, what you said was really key. Like, the sacrifices you have to make if those friends that you have in your life are true friends and they want to see you succeed, they would definitely understand you having to go to practice and then you having to study for this exam and then you having to, take that exam and then, we got to get our sleep too. So, I mean, they would definitely understand, the goals and the grind that you're on. And if they're true friends, they're going to be on those grinds, that grind with you, honestly.
Even with what you just said, like, it's a difference between understanding and respecting, because you have people that'll say, oh, I know you have class, I know you have practice, but I haven't seen you since Thursday, and I just feel like you're being fake. And people who respect you will say, I know you got class, I know you got practice. Oh, I probably can't see him Thursday, I probably can't see him Saturday. Man, if we got time just to watch a TV show, we can do that. Like,
they make it work.
Yeah, like they'll understand that your goals, and people who respect you won't try and impede on those goals. They won't try and take over time. Like, they'll take whatever time that you can give them, and they'll appreciate that to the fullest extent. And I feel like it's important to really recognize and see who those people are, because that really plays a part in who you are. Because you need friends, but also, like, you need to take care of your business, and you have to find people who will respect that.
All right, before I start, because y'all just started talking about a lot of stuff, and I ain't gonna lie, it just gave me a whole bunch of stuff to talk about.
Raising your mindset.
All right, my question to you, Sundi. We still on the same topic about managing and shit, but how was the workload different from freshman year to senior year? So this question only for you.
All right, so I would say workload was very different. So my freshman year, classes were a little bit easier, so I was able to, back in my freshman year, that was the time, I'm not gonna lie, I thought I was a genius. I could wake up, do my homework right before class, study the Quizlet, and you still pass the test, flying colors. And senior year, you recognize that really it's just not as easy as it was freshman year. And so for me, like, the workload, it really does get intense sometimes. And everybody's like, me, I'm a mechanical engineering major, but I respect all majors. Like, communications, I done seen some crazy stuff. Political science, I done seen some crazy stuff. I done seen some crazy stuff in every, like, things that I can't even fathom, that I was like, I know I can't do that. And I see people do it daily. And one thing I would say is that when it comes to workload, like, or the difference between freshman year and senior year, you just recognize that you have to put that time in. Like, you gotta dedicate that time. And so you think back to the hard class that you did freshman year. Like, my freshman year, I did have some hard classes. And so you think back to those classes and you're like, that was a hard class. You just think back to the hard class you took throughout your entire college career, and you tell yourself that there was a point where I thought that the work in this class was extremely hard, and I got through that. And so that motivating factor just tells me that this isn't the first time that I've been in contact with hard before. Now, I'm one of those people, I feel like the term hard is really relative to where you are in life at that time, because there was a point where I'm pretty sure all of us would have had struggles with division and multiplication, and now we can do.
That was first semester.
Yeah, I still struggle with that.
Look, there was a point where things were hard at some point, and we could look back and we say, oh no, it's easy now. And it really just depends. So if you could just push through and not even say that, it's okay to say that it's hard, but it's not okay to say that I'm going to stop because it's hard, because you're always going to come in contact with hard. Even like you said with the 400s, the 300s, like, that was hard, but it's going to be a point in time where you have a kid and he says, dang, I want to go to practice, but you just got off work an hour ago and practice is 3 hours away. This is going to be hard. And I feel like the biggest thing that separates us from doing things that's hard and not doing them is really that belief factor. Like, you have to believe that you can do it, because that's half the battle. If you can't see yourself doing it, then you already lost. And it may be times where sometimes it's been a lot of classes I'm taking even now where it's like, oh, I don't know what the teacher's saying on the board. The last test was really hard, but I believe that I can finish this class, and that belief factor is what will make you get up and, do that assignment, do that test, do that study session, because, yeah, that's just what keeps you going. And that's, like, the one tab I'll say that's different from freshman year to, like, even senior year. Like, it was classes my freshman year, I was like, I don't think I could pass it, and I still passed it. So if you can believe it, I know it sounds cliche, but if you can believe it, if you can see it, that's part of the goal. And at that point, it's just what can you do to make that vision in your head turn into reality. Yeah.
For sure. With me, I like to think of myself not as a robot, you feel me? Like, I like to think of time as, you could manage your time anyway. Like, time is flexible as long as you still being able to get your stuff done. Now with me, I want to say I'm the most organized person because my room is going to be clean. But if you look at my dresser, it's going to be all over the place. But me personally, I can find anything on that dresser in a matter of seconds. You feel me? So what my time is, I like to prioritize what's important first. So first, it's going to be schoolwork. I do that. I prioritize that before anything, before having fun. So I know sometimes like people like, why you ain't come to that party? Why you feel me? Why you ain't go? And I said, bro, I had work to do. You feel me? I got schoolwork. And there be other times, you feel me, I got practice. My practice, that's my money. That's what's paying for school, you feel me?
Facts.
I can't miss practice. And then anything else, it'll be me taking pictures, me trying to make some money. So, like, I'm always on the hustle. I'm always on the grind trying to make some money. Like, if I see somebody, they need an oil change, I'm like, hey, bro, don't go to a mechanic, go to me. I know how to do it, you feel me? You pay me, like, half of what the mechanic will charge you, and I just get it done for you. I go ahead, I take some pictures, so I get my work. So I get school, practice, work, and then any free time I got left, I just do anything for anybody. You want to socialize, we can socialize, we can watch a movie, we do all that, because I feel like once you handle the important stuff, any spare change that you have, you could use it on your friends or anybody else. Like, I feel like when I'm spending time with friends, I could take care of my mental health, because like the times when you really start to think about your mental is when you by yourself, because you start to think more of what's in your head, those negative, intrusive thoughts, those start swirling around. So I just like to manage my time by level of importance.
That makes sense.
All right, I'm gonna ask y'all, what is y'all passion in life?
Passion.
So, me, now, at first, it sounds kind of cliche, but my passions are the arts. I really love the arts, like music, poetry, actual art. Love basketball. Like, basketball is poetry in motion. Like, I ain't gonna count. I don't know what I love in life more than basketball.
Yeah.
And I'll say, like, the black community. Like, I really love our community because I feel like we have a lot of value. And so one of my passions, I would say, is inspiring people to recognize that we are more than what, like, America, that perception, that meaning, like, that image that the society tries to put on us, we are more than that. And people, like, the fact that, bro, it's really hard to explain what I mean by that, because it's so many things that we can be as a people, and the world, like society, tries to put us in this box. Like, they say that you only have to listen to rap music, you only have to listen to trap music, that you only have to play basketball, you can only be, if you're not a rapper, if you're not a sports player, or if you're not like an entertainer, then you can't be anything in the world. And like, being out here in Tuskegee alone is amazing, because you see different aspects of how people can be different, but we still part of the community, and we face the same challenges, but we come to a place where we overcome those things. And like I said, I really love poetry, and I feel like that's literally one of the most poetic things in life. The fact that we can we can still listen to rap music, we can still listen to Kendrick Cole, Lil Baby, Dirt, but we can still listen to other types of music like Beethoven, who'd you say, Frank Sinatra. We can still listen to a whole bunch of people, and like, the fact, it's really just exposing people to that, like helping people realize that. And then basketball, like, boy, I can do some things with that ball, I can tell you. It's just, that sound, that's my favorite. To hear that ball going to that hoop, it's an amazing sound. So I'll say that those are my passions. And really just helping people. Like, it is a hard world we live in, and like, I've seen some crazy things just on the internet and life, and it does get hard out there. So whatever I can do to help make somebody else's life a little bit easier, whatever I can do to be a positive influence on somebody, like, I try and do that, because, you know, for all the shram, drudgery, and all the BS in the world, it's still a beautiful place, and I just want people to, you know, be able to experience that in some aspects of some form, you know, and it just makes you feel good when you're able to say, like, I was able to help somebody do that. So I say it's my passion.
For me, I think I have like three main like set categories of what my passions are. For one, I would say it's music. I rarely do anything in life in general without music. That's why it'd be so weird for us when we have practice and we don't have music outside. Like, it's weird. I mean, I know Coach, she don't like the cussing and stuff like that, so you can't really make a playlist without our music, without the cussing. So, you know, whatever I do, whether it's studying, you know, taking a walk around campus, even just eating, I like music is a forefront of my life, and it gets me through a lot of stuff. So, secondly, I'd say I have a passion and obsession with just being the best And I think I tell this to Sundi all the time. Like even when we're talking about high jumping, and like he asked me like what my goals are to be the best. Like in everything I do, I want to be. I'm a political science major, but I want to be an attorney. I want to be the best immigration attorney I can be. I want to be the best father I can be. I want to be the best friend I can be. I want to be the best high jumper that I can be right now, and further it if I can. But I have an obsession, a passion. I study greatness. I study people who are the best at what they do, and I want to be the best at everything I do. Whether it's trying to help a family with their immigration status, or whether it's dunking a basketball in the hoop. Like I want to be the best at everything. And then I think the last thing is service. Whether it's service to my friends or service to my family. I think I have a duty, an objection to serve people how I can. And with being an immigration attorney, I think that's something that you have to want to do. And I think it's something that you don't really see a lot of success in, especially nowadays, but just knowing that your heart's in the right place and your motivation is to help people, that'll get you through the job more than anything.
All right, so kind of piggyback off what you said, I love to compete. Like if anything, y'all see like I'm gonna bring the competition to anything. Like we could be doing anything. We could be in a weight room. Like I'm gonna just try to be stronger than you. I'm gonna just try to be better, and not just to feed up my ego, but just to make somebody else better. So I got this model, like compete, lead, and serve. You feel me? So compete to be the very best, and then lead when you have to lead. So there's been a whole bunch of chances for me to take the lead. Like when I see somebody just down, I'm like, nah, bro, come on, like you feel me? Just walk up. Like I just walk back to the line before them. You feel me? Say, come on, let's get this work done, and then serve like. I want to be a motivational speaker. I used to listen to Eric Thomas a lot. You feel me? And he talked about he the best motivational speaker. But really, I'm trying to be better than him. I'm trying to touch more people than he touched. Yeah. I remember it was a particular episode. He was talking about if you get on a treadmill next to him, he gonna be on the treadmill longer than you. Like you gonna stop before him. And I say, hell no, that's bullshit. You gotta see me like I'm not stopping. You gonna get off before me. I'm gonna go through more hell than you go through hell. You feel me? I just want to lead. I just want to be a motivational speaker. But I also got weird passions. Like, I want to be a movie star. I want to be a producer. Like, it's just a whole bunch of things I do. Like, I don't know if I have ADHD or something, but I'm super hyper. Like,
that's called ambition.
Like, yeah, I think that's what it is.
I think that's what it is, yeah.
Because, bro, I be in my room and I just be imagining things. Like, I feel bad for, like, the rooms that's next door. And I'm happy that my roommate don't be in the room all the time. Because, bro, I be jumping around doing stupid shit, pretending like I'm in a scene. Like I be mapping out movie scenes, pretending like what am I going to do? And also like just think about my family. Like you said, your family immigration status. You feel me? Mm-hmm. I got family that's in Haiti. I already know them, but you feel me? It'll be nice if they said they want to come to the U.S. Like I can help them get there. Like you feel me? Take my family out the hood. Like make sure that their life is better. It'd be nice to say that. None of your family members, none of your siblings will ever have to work again. Like, I got that mapped out in my head. I'm over here on stage talking to a whole bunch of people, trying to get them to join the business. And I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of manipulative what I'm gonna tell them. But I'm gonna tell them you gotta feed your kids or your kids gonna starve. You feel me? Because I want to tell them like I work this hard so none of my family will have to work again. That's just
sometimes that can be enough passion itself. Is that motivation of having that experience, of having that that firsthand experience of seeing your family struggle. Like that alone can have the biggest effect on anybody and have them working like a madman for real. And I think people who see that and confuse it maybe as like crazy and see it as like abnormal, they haven't felt that. That hunger, that anguish that some people feel all the time, and you see parents, struggling to make ends meet, and an after effect of that, and I think that may be the best motivation itself.
Yeah, you just triggered that thing in because, like, to be honest, like, I was never supposed to be in college. Like, none of my siblings are supposed to be in college. Like, where did this come from? You feel me? My parents, my dad cuts grass. My mom, she can't work because she got bladder problems. You feel me? So my dad, he just cuts grass and he doesn't make he basically makes shit. You feel me? And I'm the youngest of 10 kids, so just think about that. All those siblings. I got it the easiest, and I still went through hell, bro. Like sleeping on a couch, bro, cause you got too many kids in the house. You got busted windows. Your parents can't fix that, cause it's like, bro, you gonna fix the window? What are you gonna eat? I live in Bethune, which is considered the ghetto of the campus. You feel me? This is the freshman dorm, like. And I hear a lot of people complain about it, and I mean, like, they right to complain about it. But me, shoot, when I first came in, I was like, damn, I got my own room, you feel me?
Yeah.
Got hot water. I don't got to take no more cold showers.
Struggle is relative.
I thought I wasn't going to have to take cold showers until, you feel me? The maintenance.
Cold shower wasn't that bad. Well, after 5 minutes, like, it starts to warm up. Like,
Your development is part of the Bethune journey.
Yeah, exactly. It keeps you humble, bro.
It does keep you humble. So I came in, you feel me? I was like, shoot, I won't have to bug my parents about some food, you feel me? I get to eat as much as I want. Like, during football, like, we just got to eat. And they was cooking good food over the summer. Now they just throwing anything on the plate. But, yeah, I was like, life is good. Because I really came from the bottom, not having anything. Like, I still don't have nothing now, but like he said, character development. When I make it, I'm going to know where I came from. Like, you feel me? This gives me the reason to just be hungry. Like, in my head, I think people got something that I don't, but I'm not going to be the jealous type to knock them for having it. So I'm going to work my ass off until I could get what they got and shit, even have more than what they got. So I could be like, bro, we at a dinner table, I got it. I'll pay for it. Like, I want to be that type of person. Like, you feel me? Y'all focus on what y'all need to. I'll pay for this shit. All right. How do y'all take care of y'all mental health?
Music is my therapy. Music and my granddad. I feel like my granddad has this saying that if you're always the smartest person in the room, you're the dumbest person in the room.
Oh yeah.
Because if you always are the smartest person in the room, that means you're actively not seeking to get better. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so he has been, really, really instrumental in my life. And I sometimes call him my dad because, like, that's my dad for real. Like, that's the person who, taught me how to drive. That's the person who believed in, my dreams. But I keep him, on speed dial because whenever I need assistance or I feel anxiety, I call him. And then, for me, I feel like, at least, I think I got the most diverse, most, eclectic, the best playlist, on campus. But that's, I'm a little biased. But I think I have music for any and every type of mood I'm in. So whatever, I'm going through, I think there's a song or a playlist or album that I can put on that, either help me through it or, if I need to feel my emotions, I will. But, music is definitely my therapy. So.
I got a question. Like, do y'all think Coach would let us, like, if we bring a big speaker only for warm-ups, do y'all think she'll do it or she'll be like, yeah, not ready?
My thing is, she rarely lets us have headphones for warm-ups.
Yeah.
We don't even get to have headphones for, the warm-ups for the meet. So, I don't think it'll happen. I think, let's see after this Mississippi State, because I don't think not everybody is going to this meet, and I think it's going to be her selection, and hopefully we put out numbers that'll satisfy her. So I think if we perform well at this Mississippi State meet, I think she'll be more lenient. Hopefully we get our bags back, but not right now, especially not after this meet. I don't think, not this week.
I don't think the hard part would be convincing her to get the speaker. I feel like the hard part would be deciding on what music we play. And then when the argument comes from that, like, then it's going to be, oh, y'all are arguing, y'all are talking too much. Y'all haven't even started the warm-up. And that's when it's going to turn into, y'all weren't ready. We definitely going to hear that.
But music has definitely helped my mental health a lot. But being at Tuskegee allows you to see how beautiful this campus really is, how historic it is. And sometimes at night, whenever it's not too cold, I'll take a walk and clear my mind or whatever. And also I take some, the counseling of the people around me. Sundi is the most positive person on the team. And luckily, I have him as a mentor for my event. Luckily, I have him as a mentor for my particular event, and I honestly think he's literally just an older version of me. But I think he has that sense of whenever I'm like anxious or whenever I'm unsteady. So I go to him sometimes. Sometimes I go to Kenzie, or sometimes I go to Hannah. There's different things on our team is so diverse in terms of knowledge. Whenever I need something, wherever I feel troubled in a certain area, I'll go to certain people. So I think having those people around you in your circle that won't judge or are there whenever you need it is very important, especially for your mental health.
Again, music. I feel like music is really just background music for life. Like life is just one big movie with the best graphics, with the best experience, best 3D feeling, and yeah, music a lot of those times. Sometimes I'm not gonna cap. Sometimes I am dramatic. I might play a little Drake, get to the window and hit the
Marvin's room.
the Marvin's room. But you gotta laugh sometimes. But music definitely helps, it definitely it changes the perspective on the situation that you're in. It just helps you, again, going back to the movie thing, like when the main character is down, you're like, no, go ahead, main character. And they usually get out the slump and get right. And the music just adds to that. So the music helps. But I'll say that family is is big too, because coming out here, a lot of people, they'll have these preconceived notions of you, and sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong, This is an area where a lot of people are just getting to know you, but family, they've known you before you knew you, and a lot of those times, those are people that'll love you whether you make it or not. Now, we all want to make it, but in case that you just fall a little bit short, those are people who won't judge you, they won't hold it against you, they'll love you just for who you are. And my mom, she's been so helpful. She's been the one that when I'm one of those people that I beat myself up a lot, and so it may be a small situation of I remember when I was in high school. This is junior year when I first got into track, went to state. I got 4th place, and I was like, bump this, I'm never doing this again. I lost. Bump track, they cheated. My mom was like, you do realize you just started, this is your first year, and those are the people that really get me out of my own thinking. They show me new perspectives, new way to look at the situation, and that helps. And then I'll probably say the third thing is sleep. It's some days where I'm just
So many things will be cured if you just sleep it off.
The math isn't mathing. My teacher said up is negative and down is positive. My coach said we got practice at 5 in the morning. Let me just go ahead and get some sleep. And after a good little power nap, after that 8-hour nap, you do feel rejuvenated, and you have the energy to take on the world. And sleep does matter. So I would say those are things that help my mental health. And then friends, there's been a lot of times where I don't even want to go to practice for practice. I really just want to go just to talk to the people, because they're the reason why it's fun. And so, yeah, they're the reason that help me. They also help me get out of my head, which helps a lot. So, yeah.
All right, so for my mental health, you feel me? I'm usually a person giving advice and stuff, so I don't really be taking it, but how I manage, how I take care of my mental health, for one, I just like to take walks around campus when it's not cold. 'Cause when it's cold, I'm not taking a walk. I don't care. I'm gonna just stay in the room. You feel me? Or I listen to this guy named Tom Billiard. He doesn't even consider himself a motivational speaker, but he talks just so powerful. You feel me? The stuff that he say, Tom Billiard. He just say a whole bunch of powerful things. So it just make me think mind over matter. I can get over a lot of things. Another thing, you said, friends just checking up on you. I remember one time this track season, cause I ain't gonna lie, what people say, it really do get into my head, but I just try not to react. I don't like to let people see my reactions, true reactions, when it hurt me, cause you feel me, I ain't trying to get perceived as weak. But there is a lot of stuff that people say that bother me. As y'all see, I'm a high energy person. I'm always excited, you feel me? But other times I'm real deep. There was one time practice with my teammates. She told me, she was yo, Jude, shut up. You're so annoying. Right, that really really pissed me off. You feel me? I just went the next 2-3 days just not talking, not saying a word. I was man, am I being too annoying? Am I doing too much? You feel me? It just started making me question. And I had some teammates that just recognized, and it was Kenzie, Lil Red. Yeah. It was you good? I don't like to see you silent.
Yeah, she's the one who pointed it out.
Cause like I was at that point I was just like over it. Cause it wasn't just at that point I wasn't just thinking about track. I was just thinking about a lot of things. Like I was thinking about everything in life. Like, am I honestly being annoying? Like, am I honestly pushing like a lot of people away? Am I being too obnoxious? So I just started thinking about it. I was like, man, forget it. You feel me? I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm just put my head down, and work. Like I got goals to meet. But it's bad to just pocket all that stuff and like don't change who you are for like just for one negative comment. Cause that one negative comment, they could have just said that out of spite of them having a bad day, and you don't even know about that.
Yeah.
So you feel me? Like me just taking advice from like friends and stuff, having talks from friends that like that really helps my mental health, whether I admit it to them or not. You feel me?
Can I add something there? So you just said something about like you being annoying, saying I don't know how people receiving this, so I'm gonna just stay quiet. And I just want to say like, one, bro, there's this thing called value, and everybody on the team has value to some extent. And you're the guy that helps push people. Like you motivated. Like you have a whole podcast series. Like you have your own brand centered around motivating people and inspiring people, and you need somebody like that on the team.
Exactly.
Now me, like I know exactly how you feel because it's been times I felt like that. I go down and break it down. Everybody's in there like, skiggy. So I'm like, yo, like, am I helping inspire people? But again, like to the value piece, you have to recognize that me, like, you can, like Dayshawn said, I'm probably one of the most positive people on the team, but I only got 5 weeks till I'm out of here. 5 weeks till I'm out of here, and you like somebody's gonna have to keep doing it. And
bro.
There's this one quote. You know who John Lewis is?
Yeah.
He has this one quote, and it goes, "If not me, then who? And if not now, then when?" But now, like how you say you were feeling, like it's been a lot of times where I feel like that, and you do fall into a little hole where it's like, and the words that I'm speaking, I know that it's coming from a genuine spot where people receiving it. But again, if you don't do it, then nobody else will. And the small seeds that you plant will be the big fruits that everybody eats tomorrow. Exactly. And if you're not the one planting it, somebody has to. And if you're the person who's gonna say, I'm gonna do it, there's nothing wrong with it. And shoot, you're gonna see it one day. You're gonna see it. So what were you about to say?
Alright, so if not me, then who? If not now, then when? Like, you feel me? Yankee Johnson most there. He is still that for John Lewis there, cause you feel me? I'm a guy like it started off junior year, so after the summer of sophomore year, I just started listening to every single motivational speaker you could think of. Like, I went on the splurge. Like, that's really why I started the brand, like raising mindset. You feel me? I just started listening to people, and I was like, people my age don't want to listen to this, but they probably listen to me if I say it. So I just started taking all the information that they started saying in their speeches, and I started putting it together in my own words. So I started hearing about everybody. Yankee Johnson said that same thing in the video called Impose Your Will. And that's a good video, so y'all should go and check it out.
And then can I add one last thing? And so going back to the whole receiving, like who received what you say, who not. Like, imagine you go outside and you get a handful of rocks and you throw it, like let's say you just throw it as far as you can into the water. Now some of those pieces of rocks, they may not even make it to the water. They may hit the ground. But a lot of those pieces that they will make it to the water. And I say that to say that it will be time where you drop gems, you drop a lot of motivation, and a lot of people, like, your intent is for everybody to receive it. There's going to be some people where they're like, oh, that is annoying, or that was kind of lame, like, oh, I don't get what he said. But for that one person who didn't get it, it may be 5 people who will say, oh, what Uno said at practice really pushed me through it. Oh, what Uno said at the meet really got me through my race, and that's what helped me PR. And those are the cases that you need to focus on, because the one tomorrow will turn into 2, will turn into 5, turn into a team, and then now you got 1 million people watching Raising Mindset. And bro, even with this channel, bro, don't let the negative comments stop you, because there's a lot of more people that will receive than that will deny it. And yeah, man.
Yeah. And then there's like different dynamics of our team. Like, if I need like positive motivation, I'm coming to Uno and I'm coming to Sundi. If I need to laugh, I'm going to Kinsey. So like, I think there's different like pockets. Yeah, exactly. Different value of our team, different pockets of our team that makes us, our team, our family. And like, I think if somebody is off or somebody is like not who they usually are, that throws off the team. And I think you providing that motivation, providing that, no, don't quit, never say die attitude, that's what keeps, that's the heart, that's the fuel of the team. And I think without that, we wouldn't be who we are, bro. So you keep being you.
I appreciate that. All right. I mean, this one kind of saying, I kind of answer that as well, but this next question is, have you had, like, describe a time where y'all felt misunderstood?
Oh my goodness, bro. I think that's everybody who's pushing for something beyond average, or everybody who's pushing for something beyond just like good enough. Like I think, like I said, I have a session of passion of being the best. So like that may come like my passion may come off as anger, or my passion may come off, different to other people, but like I think that misunderstood passion is gonna drive you to get that understood greatness. Like they don't see, the hours and hours and hours you spend training, the hours and hours you spend watching and dissecting your races, your jumps, the precision and the split second it may take to break a record, the split second it may take to make your season. So until, the person lives a life of, obsession, or a life of an athlete that, wants to do great things and wants to be the best at what they do, I don't think they would truly understand, the level of obsession you drive yourself to.
For sure. What was the question? It was, when were you misunderstood?
Have you ever felt misunderstood?
Yeah, so misunderstood. So I'll probably say this is recently, like this was this year. So last year, I'm sort of like Dayshawn, one of those people like I go into something and I really don't go with like a goal of I want to do this, I want to do that. It's just I just want to be the best, and like whatever that comes with that, whatever that brings, like I'm gonna just enjoy it. And so last year I won conference, and like that was like one of those like dang, like I said I was gonna do it, but I didn't think I was gonna do it. And so I won, and so it was just crazy feeling. But I came back this year and it was like I don't want people to be like, he thinks he's all that just because he won. He won conference, so he thinks he could do this and the third. And it wasn't like that at all. But I also recognize that because I was the only person who won first in the conference, that to some extent, like, of being a leader, I had to say, like, at some, like, you guys are looking up to me. And so the small habits that I take, small habits that I do at practice, like, y'all are going to take over, like, y'all are going to inherit that. And so it's up to me to, like, really say to myself, like, what are you going to do? Like, what you do is what they'll see. And, like, that's really, like, planting the seeds. And so I had to really talk to myself and say, like, okay, like, even with the breakdowns, like, I don't want to do the breakdowns because I'm shy, I'm nervous. And, again, I don't want people to be like, oh, he's just doing the breakdown because he won. It was to the point where it's like, I want y'all to, like, I want to help inspire and motivate. And honestly, I have no idea how I'm going to do that, what I'm going to do to do that. But I just know being positive and pushing y'all to really see the potential that's in y'all, even if y'all don't see it in yourselves, like, whatever that looks like. And that's really my ultimate goal, like, with this track thing. Again, like, it'll be great to win. It'll be great to go back to back. But my ultimate goal with this is I really want y'all to see the potential that y'all have, because in me, even in my freshman self, like, I said I was going to win conference and I said I wanted to win it, but every day was just I don't know if I'm going to do it. And by me, even like I said earlier in the video, by me not giving up on myself, by me just believing that I could win, I turned into reality. And a lot of times we hear the negativity like, oh, I'm gonna quit, I don't want to do this race, I don't want to do that. And it sucks because I get why everybody says that. However, like, the only way that you can get to that point of being that what you think is imagination is, like, you just got to keep going. And whatever I can do to keep y'all going and whatever I can do to say to y'all to keep y'all going and keep y'all doing y'all best, that's all I want to do. And I just don't want that to be misunderstood for, oh, he's just doing this because he thinks he's that guy. Because me, I could care less about track. Like, I could care less about my track career just because I'm at the end of it. Is what can I do to help inspire y'all for the rest of y'all track careers? Yeah. Especially with the coach that we got now, because it's different, completely different ball game.
I think you set that standard too. Like, even when you were talking about the like breaking it down at the end of practice, breaking it down in the weight room, like when Coach Coward says all hearts and mind clear, we go for a break, like. Don't nobody go, say anything. We look to Sundi. We look to Sundi to get that last positive motivation at the beginning, at the end of the morning. So, definitely setting that standard of, how we have the standard on our uniforms, the standard on our hoodies and stuff like that. Like, that's the example of, setting the standard. And I think, even just this year, I think you've done a good job of setting that standard. And I think it's something that, we as freshmen definitely look at and pay attention to. So.
Yeah. And then this is the last thing I'm gonna say. The last thing I know, like, I don't want to. Oh snap! My fault. But yeah, I just don't want to miss. Like the other thing too is that I don't want to be when I do what I do. I don't want to be taken as, oh, he knows everything. Because there's a lot of times I'll be going to practice. I'm like, have no idea what I'm saying. Just breakdown. I just know I can't say anything. I feel like that's something that a lot of us do, and that we get caught up in. Like we meet a wall, we find this boundary, and we're like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, and I'm gonna just not do anything. One thing I realize is you can not know what to do, but you cannot do nothing. When you don't know what to do, just know that you got to do something, and everything else will follow. So that first day, I think I said something crazy one day at practice. I was like, another day, another dollar, and yeah, that was not it. But the only way I knew that wasn't it is because I said it, and I realized people didn't receive it well, and then I just changed it, and then the 3-2-1 ski like that caught on, and it's again setting the standard. But yeah, just I don't want y'all to think that I know everything that what I'm doing. I just recognize that I got to do something, and it'll build off of it, and that that one turns into two, and that's what helps get to where we are now. If that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure, that makes sense. But it's crazy. Like you won't know any of this until you actually talk to the person. Like you feel me? Like I ain't never know you felt this way. Like bro, to be honest, like you like most humblest person I know. Like I ain't never know you felt like people would think like you being too cocky because you won the SIC championship. Like it ain't never come off that way. Like first day of my practice, I thought you was a coach.
No, yeah, that's also a misconception because like once you really get to know somebody, like you see that he's not that person at all. I think people, project their insecurities and project what they would think or what they would do about themselves onto him, and that it's unfair in itself, especially when you get to know him, when you get to know him. So.
And also, like, who said your track career might just end in 5-6 months? Like, you never know. Like, you could get a call, like, you feel me? We need a high jumper, like, they might just pull something out like that. You never know. Like, you never know what might happen.
No, knock on wood, you know what I'm saying? I'm not crazy. If the Olympics say, hey, we need a high jumper, Dontavia say, I want a career, I'm done with track, and the spot just opens up, I'll take it. But I came to Tuskegee with goals of being an engineer, and it was just like, being a track star on the side, that's not a bad little side hustle. So it was just enjoying it to the fullest extent, and it was really just enjoying track, just not only for the aspect of track, but of meeting new people that I wouldn't have met if I didn't do track, and that's just been amazing. It's really just been me enjoying an experience and trying to make the most out of an experience and trying to help people get the same feeling that I've gotten out of this experience. Because again, like for me, my passion isn't in track, my passion is in basketball. But however, helping y'all, seeing y'all grow, doing what I can to help y'all be the best, that's part of my passion. And if I gotta win conference to do that, then bump it, let's do it, let's win. You feel me? Straight like that.
At times I feel misunderstood. I feel misunderstood all the time. Like, you feel me? Like, you look at me, I got dreads, and then, like, y'all don't see them, but I have grills, like, some grills and stuff. So when people see me in the street, like, they just think, like, oh, you just a stupid motherfucker. Like, you dumb as hell. Like, people just think, like, you just all hood. I want y'all to see where I came from, but I want y'all to know, like, I'm not just a product of my circumstances. Like, I'm finna cut, like, I come up. Like, I got a 4.0 GPA, and a lot of people don't know that. When they see me, and they see me speak like a couple of times, they just think like, bro, you stupid.
That's difficult.
But
I really don't think people understand how difficult that is in college. No matter what major you're doing, the workload in college is a lot, and that's impressive to say the least. Like you definitely should be proud of that.
As a student athlete too.
Exactly.
Yeah, like a lot of people, like they just say things and try to like patronize me a whole bunch of times. Like they just think that I'm stupid or I don't know things. But then eventually, like when they start to speak to me, they start to know like the real me. Then they just start to understand, and like it's just a constant pattern. Like I got used to it to a point, like you feel me. But I know like every new environment that I go to, people gonna misunderstand me. They gonna be scared when they first see me. They're not gonna really want to walk up to me. But eventually, when they do speak to me, then they gonna understand like I'm just like anybody else, and that's why I grind so that people that feel like they just like me or they feel sure if they better than me and they see me do something, it inspire them to go chase their dreams, do the same thing. Other question: do people check on y'all often?
Family, and the very very close friends I have. Like right before we did this, my grandparents and my mom called me, and they asked how the meet went yesterday. Asked if I need anything and if I was good, and I said yeah. So You know, the really, really close people in my life definitely check on me, and I'm grateful for that. Definitely grateful for that. But like everyday person, I don't think they'd see, you know, the struggle and stuff we go through as student athletes, and the struggle we go through as track athletes especially. So it's definitely good to, you know, call and check up on people, and I think that's something we all can, you know, do a better job at.
For sure. I would say not really a lot of people check up on me, you feel me, but also give people a lot of grace, because one thing about life is life be lifing, and it's crazy because people, like, there are a lot of hard things that happen in my life, but the hard things that I go through in my life are different than the hard things that Uno goes through. It's different than the hard things that Dayshawn goes through, and it's really to a point, like, time moves very fast. Like, when I was younger and the adults told me life moves fast, I thought they were capping, I thought they were lying. Like, no, life moves fast, and so people just, you know, they do what they can to take care of the things that they can check up on. So I give people that grace, and me personally, I know a lot of people, and so from time to time I will check up on people, just ask them, like, how are you doing? Like, what's new? What are you excited for? What's something that you got going on this week? Because a lot of times people want to talk about the things going on in their life. They just don't have that space sometimes, and you just gotta give that to them. And then as far as me, like, shoot, I got family, I got my teammates, like, it's people that check up on me. But I would say, like, often, it's not really like an everyday thing, because people got things to take care of in their life, and I'm one of those people, I don't really want to be extra on anybody's plate. Like, do what you gotta do to take care of you, because again, life is hard, and if you need help, call me, I'll help out however I can. And yeah, that's how I say that. I don't really blame people for not checking up, because it does get hard, and you gotta take care of business. So yeah.
To answer my own question, yeah, to a certain extent. So like, it'd be like friends from like high school and stuff. They'll just call me like every couple of weeks, and I don't blame them, because you feel me, everybody got their life to live, everybody got goals and stuff. So like, sometimes when I'm feeling alone and I just get a random text like, bro, how you doing? Like, that just lighten up my day. So I'll say yeah, but then that actually made me think, like, the people that's not checking up on me, are y'all okay? So that makes me go in and text them, like, to see like what's going on in their life, because you feel me, the same thing that you thinking, somebody else could be thinking the same thing and feeling like, man, ain't nobody there for me. And it's just a reoccurring cycle, you feel me?
Really, because the phone works both ways. That's the other reason, my fault. That's the other reason why I don't, because I, like, especially with social media, one thing I don't like about social media, they'll be like, if you ain't check up on me, then we not real friends, like, you don't care about me. And, you know, some people that just might not care about you, like, not in the sense of they see you and they're like, they want the worst to happen to you, but they got X, Y, and Z to take care of. You know, people got kids. I don't got kids, you know, thank God. But people do have kids, but also, like, the phone does work both ways. And so I'm not gonna count, like, my freshman year, I did fall into a hole where it's like, this person didn't check up on me, so, you know, I'm not gonna do that. But then I had to get out of that and recognize that life is hard for everyone. And so if you catch yourself saying they didn't check up on me, take that extra step, be that person to say, I'm gonna check up on them, because it could be something where it's like something that you can't even think of happened to them, and they have to take care of that. So I would say, yeah, like, the phone works both ways. So I don't really, like, put that on the other person for not checking up.
Nah, but also be careful with, like, over checking on someone. Like, you checking on them all the time, and they never ever ask about, like, how was your day? Then you gotta know, it's like, that person, like, do they really care? Because every day, like, not every day, but every time it's you checking up on them. Like, the phone does work both ways, but if it's only you ringing that phone, I think it's time to cut that phone off. All right, this question is for Sundi only. Bro, how do you stay so positive? Like, you feel me? Like, you told us, like, you have negative days, but, like, you ain't really sure, like, in practice, like, I never found a day where I've seen Sundi just being negative. Like,
you won't see
I talk about track and stuff, like, damn, these people fast. You like, you said some crazy stuff. You was like, but yo, I know some fast guy from Florida. I'm like, who the fast guy from Florida? You. I'm like, what?
What keeps me so positive, man? It's a lot of things that keep me positive. So for one, I'll say, like, one of the biggest things that keeps me positive is that I am where I am. Like, it's a lot of things that could have happened to me that have happened to a lot of people around me that haven't happened to me. Like, I had a best friend in elementary school. This dude, like, we on the bus every morning, 4th grade, like, bro, blood couldn't make us no closer. And right now I'm in an interview with Charles trying to inspire y'all, and right now he's sitting in jail because he shot somebody in the head and they lived to like point him out. And then I have another homie, like the most quietest dude you would see, like he come to school, do his work, and in Miami, like he tripping on drugs, overdose on drugs, and he shot somebody broad daylight. So for me, like it's a lot of places that I could be, and I'm right now. And for as much as the hard is right now, like I got the problems that a lot of people want to have. You feel me? So one of my problems is I got to figure out like, dang, how am I gonna get enough sleep for practice at 5 in the morning? And there's somebody probably in like North Dakota thinking about how am I gonna get this kid some food and get them to the class, and they're only in like pre-K. Like it's a whole bunch of things that life, it's a whole bunch of ways life could have went, and it didn't go that way. And it's a lot of things I could complain about that a lot of people wish they had my problems. So that's one thing that keeps me positive. Another thing is that positivity is like a domino effect, and so we already going to a place where everybody already don't want to run, everybody already don't want to be there, and so it's like we know we have to be there in order to reach the goals that we want to reach. And so it's just in that, like, you know, what can I do to make these people feel a little bit better in some aspect? And if that's making y'all crack a smile in between while y'all breathing heavy from the third 200 y'all just did, then I'll do that. If it's, you know, helping you realize that that you're fast, and I'll do that. And then the thing about positivity that is crazy is like positivity, belief, faith, all that plays a big part into who you want to be in the future. Because like I think I said it earlier in the video, like life isn't about finding yourself, it's about creating yourself. Like that's all it is. Because bro, life can happen in so many ways, and shoot, we're blessed right now. Like we're blessed. And I say one more thing about why I'm positive is I live life like a movie. And in what movie have you seen the main character where he was negative and it's been a good movie? Like, no movie. The main character, always positive, and even in the cases where they seem down, they're down for a little minute, they feel that for a second, and then something happens where they do whatever it is that they do, they talk to whoever they talk to, they get out of that slump, and they get back to business, they get back to the plot of the movie, and the movie's great. So I see myself as that main character. And then the last thing that keeps me positive is that me personally, like it's been like I've had my bad days, but it's been people thinking back to elementary, middle, high school, like thinking back to my role models. Those were positive people. And when I was young, when my biggest struggle was algebra, when my biggest struggle was just not having a pistol in the class, these were adults who had real life problems, and they're positive. Like they had a smile on their face. Just like how y'all say y'all never seen me with a bad day. I never seen them with a bad day. And then when they expose the things that they go through on a daily basis, and you see that, wow, you really are positive, it just made me realize that, one, that you really can find a different perspective on life. Like life is all about how you see it. It depends on the lens. And if you can find one good thing about it and focus on that good, it just makes the bad, like whatever that hard thing you're going through, it makes it a little easier to get through it. And then also it just, me being positive, again, if I can help inspire, motivate somebody else just by being positive, then I'll do that. Because the bad is for sure the bad's going to go away at some point. It's just what are you going to do while the bad is still going on to, you know, keep going. Because a lot of people, it'll get hard and they'll start crying. It's like, you know, don't cry in the middle of it. Cry and keep going. And shoot, crying, I don't like tears. If I'm going to cry from laughing. And yeah, I just like to be positive. So that's my thing.
So I ain't gonna lie, it do help to laugh it out. Like that's one thing I see, like I don't know if y'all hear it, but I be like, we gonna get Jerome crazy if we don't have fun during practice, because we already getting killed every day by coach. Bro. Not literally, but you feel me? The workout. So we just laugh it through.
Yeah, I think that's what makes the team so close, is that we die, like we've literally seen each other at our like tiredest, at our worst, when we're in so much pain, is that the fact that we can laugh at it and look back on it. And the workouts that we've done, you know, previously, that if we do them now, it's like, all right, man, let's just get this over with by now. You know, we'll be fine.
It's adversity. Like just push through adversity. A lot of times in life, like you'll go through adversity. Adversity is inevitable. You'll come in contact with adversity. And so for us, for as bad as it is, like it's track practice. You know, it's gonna be way more adversity in life than that. I don't even know what it's gonna look like. Yeah. Again, I hope it's problems that we want. Like I hope one day our problem is, dang, I hope it's Thursday when we're in our careers and it's like, do I want to take the Range Rover or the Lamborghini to homecoming homecoming is 2 days. My wife wants to come. Like, I hope those are the problems, but you know, life happens sometimes, and the only way that you can get like through it is just with a positive attitude. And I know that sounds cliche, but when you really do that, you'll recognize how different it is. And sometimes it is hard to find that positive outlook, but once you find it, like, you got to find it and hold on to it like a light in a black hole. You just got to hold on to it because that's what's going to get you through it. And yeah, it's been working so far for 23 years, so I'm just doing that till it stops working. Straight like that.
Right, Sundi, you 23, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yo. I turned 23 in January, like.
You old as hell, bro.
Old as hell. Old as hell. Chill.
You old, man.
See, look, I ain't gonna count. I'm gonna give y'all grace because I thought the same thing when people told me they was 23. But y'all gonna get to 22, be like, my boy Sundi was just a year older. You know? Y'all gonna get to 21, like, I'm not gonna count. Time flies by after 18, 19.
Yeah.
But when we got 23, I'm gonna tell my kid, like, you see him on the TV? I did an interview with him when he just had a YouTube channel, and now he has Uno channel. Channel Uno. But nah.
It would be dope if I could get Channel 1. Wait, is there even a Channel 1?
I think it's Channel 2. Yeah.
But hey, these young cats gotta watch out with the O word. I prefer the term vintage, like retro. You feel me? Nah, I'm just playing. I am old. I'm just older.
All right. What are y'all goals for this year in particular? So, like, it don't even have to be like track, because you feel me? You said you just want to be the best, but like, what y'all goals is?
The year of like 2023 or like
2023.
Okay. So, I mean, I think everybody's goal should be like every day, you know, just be a better person than you were yesterday, right? And I think that's where it, you know, the foundation starts of. Forget all of the like accolades and, you know, track and school and everything. Just being a better person, because it's not hard. Like it's the most minute thing in the world is just to be a better person to, you know, friends, family, whoever may be around. But specifically, one of my main goals is to get a car. This campus is big, and walking around this campus is a lot. All the time, so that's one of my main goals is to get a car, especially coming into next semester. Specifically about track, I want to be the best high jumper in the conference, and I know
I'm gonna help him get there.
I know my teammate was last year's best high jumper in the conference, but that's more motivation for real. I really just want to be the best, specifically for high jump, but. Also to earn a scholarship for track. I want to earn a internship in New York to intern for Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, AOC, if you know who she is. She's a congresswoman of her district. I think it's the 14th district of New York. Definitely want to intern for her. She's a beast of a politician. But yeah, I think just getting better every day. Like I was telling Sundi after we got done competing, he was beating this up a little bit, but I had to remind him, as he always reminds me, that this is literally just our practice for real. She throws us in these D1 meets because we know that the competition is fierce and the competition is nothing like we've seen before. We just went against an Olympic captain yesterday. Like that's nothing that we've ever seen before. But as long as we're getting better and that exponential growth of getting better each and every day, each and every week, that getting better 1% every day, I think that's all that you can ask for. That's what, just having that mindset of that nothing's really gonna stop me, nothing that just focusing on what you control, keeping the main thing.
For sure. So my goals for the year are really in sections. Like it's really in segments. So for the first segment is really for school. So from January to May is get that degree. Yeah. Go back to back. Yeah. And hopefully if I don't go back to back, really the only person I'm trying to lose to is my boy down there. Like, and I'm not gonna make it easy for him. But
I
also,
wouldn't want it any other way for real though. I wouldn't want it any other way.
shoot, one of my other goals is just again try and help motivate my teammates to see, so they can see the things that I see them in them like for themselves. That's one of the biggest things, especially, and it's really a challenge because we got a coach that she's not gonna make it easy, but if my teammates can see in themselves what I see in them, then that'll be a check off the box. Let's see what else. So that's like the first half from January to May. From May to July is gonna be me just simplifying my life. Like, oh boy, it's been crazy here at Tuskegee. Like, I just want to exist just for 2 months. I want to wake up, not go to practice, not go to class, but I just want to do that. And then also I had this candle business I'm trying to start. You know what I'm saying? Have you seen them?
Bro, they're fire. They're fire.
Yeah. So if y'all watching this video, type in Wicks, WICKSINKICKS on IG. Y'all gonna see what candles I made, but.
Yeah, man.
Really to go ahead and get that started, because being an entrepreneur, that's something that I never thought I was going to say. I can't even see myself doing, but I said the same thing about being a SIAC champion. I said the same thing about me getting an engineering degree. And so in those times I trusted myself, so it's going to be me trusting myself with that and seeing where that goes. And then from July/August to December, I'm going to be moving to New Orleans. That's where my new job is going to start. And it's going to be me being the best engineer that I can be, and then turning that candle business into a nonprofit, sort of, because I want to give back to my community. And my overall goal for the entire year is to give back to my community more in whatever way I can, whatever that looks like. And then, like you said, just be the best me in whatever aspect I can, whether that be the best teammate, be the best friend, be the best son, be the best whatever I can be. And yeah, that's it. That's it.
So yeah, my goals for this year, like Dayshawn said, number one, just be better every single day, you feel me? That's just the goal for everybody. Like, just be a better person than what you were yesterday. How can I be better today than I was yesterday and tomorrow? And you feel me? Just keep getting better. But as for track, I want to break a 49, so my record is a 49.3. And the 400, I'm trying to get to a 48. Like, I'm trying to get to a 48 by championships, which is in April, like next month. Like, you feel me? I'm grinding to get there. So like when I run, like times like just yesterday I ran. Well, y'all don't know the date, but at the Auburn meet I ran 50.8, and then as soon as I crossed the line, like I was real negative. Like I just punched the air, but then I looked and I seen coach, so I had to hide that anger. You feel me? Just tell myself like, hey, you gonna get better. Like last year you started off at a 52, then got to a 49. Like who's to say you at a 50 right now? You can't do some crazy stuff and get to a 47. Like just keep getting better. And then my last goal for 2023, like I'm just trying to inspire people. Like if I could get, right now I'm at 429 subscribers right now. If I could get to 1,000, like I'm gonna just say that's 1,000 people that I'm able to motivate. So like that's my 3 goals: be better every day, break them records, and just inspire people so I can get to that 1,000 subscriber count. How can y'all be a better teammate?
I feel like there's a connotation on our team, especially because of our coach, that I think we let her negativity sometimes drain us, and I think that the negativity from her allows, like, it seeps into the team as teammates. And I think not only me but everybody, like, just on the team, can do a better job of just not letting that get to us. I remember I was talking to Anaya, one of our throwers, and she was saying that whatever she says, she just takes it with a grain of salt, because if she lets that get to her, she's not going to perform the best that she could. So just probably take a page out of Sundi's book and just try to be more positive. Like we, like even before practice really starts, like we like, all right, what's she gonna do today, man? Like Murder Mondays, we're gonna have 300s to 400s. We're gonna have, it's not the last set, but I think it's more a mindset of I think we changed one word. What do we have to do? We get to do. Like we get to wake up every day and we get to do what we love, and we get to practice every day, and we get to go to these meets and show how much potential we have and how hard we've been working, instead of saying we have to do it like it's a chore, because we don't have to come out here every day. Like literally working out and showing up every day at practice is not it's not mandatory. You can come here, get your degree, and leave. But I think we choose to do this because we inherently want to be better. We inherently want to, do something that's never been done before.
All right, so for me, I could be a better teammate. Our coach, he has called me out on it, and I do believe her on it. So, like, I think different. So, me, no matter the workout, no matter how hard it is, I have that don't quit attitude, so I'm going to get it done regardless. But I got a habit of saying, like, projecting the workout, saying, like, oh, man, like, today's going to be a hard day. Like, we got 400s. And I feel like that kills people's spirit. Like, when I say that, like, people don't think like me. So, when me telling them that, they might just go ahead and they might just, like, you feel me, BS the workout and not get a full thing out of it, all because I said them negative words. So for me to be a better teammate, I just gotta stop saying negative things. Oh, you don't got it.
All right, so I say for me, to be a better teammate, I'm a big believer in positive reinforcement. Like, I believe that if you can tell your athlete what they're going through, if you can find the one good thing about them, like what they're doing, and sort of highlight that'll motivate them to say, okay, at least I'm doing something right. Let me go ahead and, work on this other thing. But I feel like what I can do to make my teammates better is I also believe that growth is found outside of your comfort zone, which means that you have to be uncomfortable a little bit in order to recognize what that growth is. And so I guess that it would be just finding what ways, because our coach already makes people uncomfortable, like, but it's, it's certain ways to be uncomfortable in it. It's just figuring out what that it looks like for our team. And it's not me saying, dang, you really, like, I know you could have crossed the line a lot faster than that, but saying, like, I know, like, telling them, like, I know this rep sucks. I know that you already did 15 200s, but just try and push yourself a little bit harder on this last one. I know you have negative E in the tank right now, but try and push out a little bit more than what you got. And not really forcing them to do it, but asking them, like, hey, like, just try. Like, just try. I know you've been trying on these last 15, but try just a little harder. Find that try hard, whether you got to get it from, I know you gave all the try hard from your heart, but see if you can pull some from your elbow, from your leg, like, get a little bit of juice out and put it in this next one. And just, trying to help them find, like, what that comfortable uncomfortable is for them, so that they can get past that uncomfortable zone and grow into that growth zone.
All right. So we coming down to our last 3 questions. What are some habits that you picked up since you've been in college?
Habits? College really makes you, like, get your shit together, for real. Especially when you think about, like, when you get done, you got to pay all this back. Like,
chill.
When you get done, you got, like, you're paying for your education. Especially, like, I think high school, like, especially, I don't know about anybody else, but I went to a public school, so mostly you just have to show up, for real. Show up and do your work, and you'll be fine. But, like, college is more than just showing up and doing your work. Like, I think college has really made me manage my time a lot better. Like, as much as time is really valuable and it's the most precious thing we have, it's really made me, like, pinpoint when I got to do this, when this is due. Like, I think, especially with being a student athlete, like, your day really has to be mapped out in order for you to be successful in everything you want to do. And if you want to get everything done, you have to do everything you say you're going to do, or you write down you're going to do, in a timely manner. And I think college has really prepared me, and especially Tuskegee has really made me manage my time a lot better and a lot differently. I think, especially with me being a freshman coming from high school, the time and for everything was set for us. Like, our parents would remind us to do things, or we had practice right after school or right before school, but, having practice, 6 o'clock in the morning, and then the next day we got practice at 4, and then the next day we got practice, 7 o'clock. So it's really made me, like, hunker down and for real take not just what I want to accomplish, but take my time seriously, like, really just hone in on my time management.
For sure. I'd probably say, you said what the things we learned or the habits?
Habits you picked up.
So habits I picked up. So I feel like it's really just four main habits. One of them is recognizing value. Like one thing about college is it's a world of a little bit of everything. Like there's a whole bunch of things in college that you can get into, and what's for me may not be for you, may not be for the other person. Cause I told you how I feel about track. Like they tell me to run, I'm like, oh, oh. But they say, you know, if this is a 3-on-3 tournament, I'm first in line. I'm there before the reps are even there, you know? And so it's just recognizing value and not really recognizing, it's not really what do you think other people would value in you. It's not really you saying, you know, what can I do that everybody else finds value in. It's what do you find value in? Because at the end of the day, like you gotta live life. So if you sign a sheet, if you, let's say there's a choir practice and your friend says, oh, I really like this, but you know you don't sing. You're in choir practice and you're mad while your friend's hitting the notes, you know? And vice versa, it could be a case of you want to go do this, you want to go, let's say, I don't know, let's say you want to do step competition and your friend's like, I have 2 left feet. It's okay if they don't want to do that, but if you find value in that, you have to be okay with stepping into that room by yourself and saying like, this is what I want to do. Because if it brings you joy, like, you know, why not do it? And that's one thing I had to recognize here, that what brings you joy is really like why you're here. And the other thing too is that there are so many things out here that you can do, but you came out here for a certain reason. And so for me, it was to get a degree and do track. For somebody else, it was to play football and get make it to the NFL. Like for me, this was just, I already had the plan. This was just a platform. And this is how to use this platform to your extent and recognizing how to use everything to your advantage. And I would say another thing is opportunity, like finding opportunity, not letting opportunities come to you, but getting out there and say, I want to do this. I'm in a place where the opportunities are available and being able to find them. And if you can't find the opportunities, then finding somebody who can help point you in those opportunities. And I feel like in the world we live in, especially with how we look, like being able to find opportunity is a very valuable habit, because we live in a world out here in Tuskegee, like they'll hand you opportunity. Whether like if you ask for it, then they'll hand it to you. But outside of those Tuskegee gates, they won't just give you opportunity. A lot of people will gatekeep, and if you're able to know what you want, and if you have the ability to go after it, the world is literally yours.
All right, for me, since I've been here, I picked up 2 habits. The first one is waking up early. Because, like, during football, like, I'm not even going to lie, during football season, we had practice. Like, coaches just put in the group chat, pre-practice, 4 a.m., pre-practice, 3:50. So we got to get up 3:10 in the morning, 3:20, just to get up, like, for practice, get chewed out. And another one was prepare for anything, you feel me?
Yeah,
like,
really unpredictable.
That situation's like where anything could happen, like anybody get injured or starters, like they find out that they ineligible and then you get in. Like coming in freshman year over the summer, like for football, not even for track, like for football, I didn't think I was ever gonna play. And I ended up playing every single game, playing special teams, you feel me? I thought I was gonna get on defense. It didn't happen. Well, it happened one play, last play, championship, but you just gotta prepare because like you never know what might happen. All right. What habits have y'all dropped since coming into college?
Habits that we dropped?
Yeah.
For you?
I've, as much as I'd like to say that I'm like real open-minded, I think I was really closed-minded coming into college of what I was going to do. So like I told myself, like I was, even my, like when I found out that when my people that around me found out that I was going to HBC, they was like, oh, you gonna pledge? I was like, bro, I'm not pledging, bro. Like I don't do the partying and stuff like that, but like getting here and seeing the experience and seeing like, you know, what fraternities, sororities do, I think it's opened my mind to it. I won't say that I will or I won't, but like I think coming to college, seeing or having that college experience of that, you know, first semester under my belt, I think it's opened my mind to stuff I want to do, opened my mind to like just different things around campus. Like I never thought that I'd, you know, be interested in running or campaigning to be, you know, Mr. Sophomore, or thought that I could ever be Mr. Tuskegee. Like that's nothing that I ever even thought I could do, but it's definitely possible if I really wanted to. So like I think it just, you know, being 12 hours away from home, and like being here, I think it really forces you to like go outside of your comfort zone and really just mold yourself into who you really truly want to be. And specifically Tuskegee, like Sundi was saying, like they have ample opportunity. Especially Tuskegee is more of like an engineer specialized school. Like the engineer building is huge, first of all, and it's like even with the plane, like you can like definitely sense the urgency they have for engineering. Even if they don't, specialize in my major, they have opportunities for us. Like just, I think last month they had the law school fair, and I want to go to law school in 4 years. So they had 80 something law schools at Chappie, set up, telling them about their law school, their environment, and stuff like that. So it just being here has definitely broadened my horizons for sure.
I would say a habit that I drop is really, I'll say like putting value on things that I didn't want to put value on. What I mean by that, like my freshman year, I knew a lot of people, like I was cool. They had like the Mr. Freshman running. Everybody was like, oh, you need to do that, you need to do that. And I didn't do it because I didn't want to do it. So that happened. And then the same thing happened for Mr. Sophomore. People were like, you should do it. And so I was like, I really don't want to do it. Everybody else says I need to do it. And I ran. I lost by 3 votes. And during campaign season, like I definitely could have went a lot harder. Like my heart really just wasn't in it. And so I say, what did I say? I said like putting value on things. I really say / doing things that my heart isn't in fully, like 100%. There have been things that I've done where my heart was kind of in it. And when I did it, like I reached a point where it's like, dang, like it's getting hard. And instead of like the passion fueling me, it was like, all right, I'm just doing this just to get through it. Or like a lot of resentment was felt. And now I'm at a point where it's like, if my heart isn't fully into it, if I don't feel the goosebumps on my arms or the shiver down my spine, then I don't want to do it. Not in the case of I don't like it or I don't like, or not a case that I think it has little value, but in terms of like what I want to do in the 24 hours that I have in today, if I'm not doing that with something that I'm gonna pour my heart into fully, then I don't want to do it. A lot of people told me I should have ran for Mr. Tuskegee, and it's a lot more people who will take the job more serious and they'll do it with a better, like they'll execute the job better than I can, and it'll be a great experience. It probably would be cool, but my heart just isn't in it all the way, and I know people that do the job a lot better than I can, and so on the other side, it's a job that I know I can do a lot better than other people, and for me, it's just really finding what those things are, and me not being scared to share my talents, my strengths with those people in those areas, and so just finding the things that I really want to do like wholeheartedly, whether I got 10 years to do it or 1 day to do it.
All right, speaking about the like wholeheartedly, so I was gonna run for Mr. Freshman, but I just started thinking about it. I was like, I'm in football. Let me make it through this season first. You feel me? And I just started thinking about it. Like I was never gonna have time to do anything as Mr. Freshman. Like I was never, ever gonna have time. But then towards like the middle of the season, we had something for Mr. Bethune. I ended up going. I ran. I won. You feel me? I felt happy. We had a gala going on. It is expensive to be a mister. I hope y'all know that.
It is.
It is expensive.
It is very expensive.
I'm not doing this next year. Like, I'm sorry. It's expensive. It costs money. But habits I want to drop, habits that I have dropped since I've been here, number one is just talking back to coaches. Like, you feel me? Like, talking back in general, I just be letting people have their way. Like, if they say something to me, okay, you're right. You feel me? Like, I'm just not going to argue with y'all anymore. Because at the end of the day, I know it's hurting me. So, like, is it better to be right than happy? You feel me? Like, you could be right and be mad. Or you could let people think that you're wrong, you feel me? And you just go on with your day, you enjoy it. Let them have that, you feel me? So I had to drop that. And then another thing that I dropped, dropped a lot of things. But that'll be for another episode. My last thing is like, what's the final advice that y'all have for anybody watching?
Final advice?
You can go first if you got something.
Yeah, I would just say like, be happy, or do whatever makes you happy, or do whatever fulfills you the most. And especially in today's world, I think we have a lot of like standards or, society standard of what we should be, especially as black men, of what we should be or what we should be doing. A lot of like stereotypes of, that we can only be rappers, or we can only be basketball players, or we can only be entertainers, or we could be something worse. We can only be, incarcerated or drug dealers or whatever. But I think there's, even just being on campus at Tuskegee, or, going, to different track meets that we've gone to so far this year, is that we just see a lot, and we see dynamics of black people. We see, people excelling in different areas that we didn't even think of that black people are interested in. So I think, seeing that alone can motivate me to just do, what I'm best at and do what I'm good at, and doing what I love and doing what I'm good at fulfills me and makes me the happiest. So I would just say find, whatever fulfills your heart the most, whatever makes you happy the most, whatever makes you, smile the most, whatever makes you, you can go to sleep at night knowing you did your best, or knowing you're doing what you love. And even if that is, taking a leap of faith to, go outside your comfort zone, and maybe that's exactly what you need, to go outside your comfort zone, to do something you want, or to do something that you've never done. You're gonna do some stuff that you've never done. You know what I mean? So, to do, to be great and to make yourself happy, you're gonna have to do things that are hard. You're gonna have to make sacrifices. You're gonna have to do, stuff that you've never thought you even think about doing. But I think that's the beauty in it. I think that's how you grow the most. So I would just say, do whatever makes you happy.
Facts, that's real. I'd probably say that my biggest piece of advice is, in life, life is crazy. There are going to be some things in life that you literally cannot explain. You don't know where it comes from. You don't know how it even started. Understand that the universe is under no obligation to make sense to you. And on the side where, in those cases where you're like, yo, how is this happening? Yeah. On the flip side, there are amazing things that will happen to you, and you're not going to know where it came from. You're not going to know how it started, and literally just enjoy it all. And I say that to say that a lot of times our situations are really based off our perception, how you see it. And so to some people, I'm a track star. To some people, I'm the quiet guy. But me, when I look in the mirror, all I see is a tall, funny guy that's just trying to graduate college. And yeah, the same thing can go for life. So I would say, just enjoy life to its fullest. Don't be closed-minded to a lot of things, and understand that the universe works mentally. So how you see your world is how it will be. And that goes for the negative and the positive.
All right, the final piece of advice going to come from me. It is, you never know how far you made it until you turn around and reflect on all the achievements that you have done.
That's the one.
Pastor Uno.
You feel me? But hey, you was watching Raise My Mindset. They definitely did raise my mindset to the point where we've been on here for almost 2 hours now. Yeah. You feel me? Just chatting it up. But hey, you was watching Raise My Mindset. Give me a like, give me a comment, and give me a subscribe. Y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day.
Peace.
Peace.